know us that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne.
Get the right button. Unmute the mic. See how we got a decent crew, or the best crew, right? Yeah. Had a few minor issues. We had a fight for a couple weeks with the ISP, but we think we got that lined out. Fortunately, but there were some. It's unfortunate it took that long and that many phone calls and that many complaints. So, but they got it fixed. Is the general channel where the chat? No, I don't have. I don't have it like mirrored. I'm not sure how to. I haven't looked at how to set that up before. It's just in the YouTube itself. Maybe there's something I need to look at. Combined with maybe doing some sort of animation at the beginning instead of just a still picture that's, well, I shouldn't say that. I gotta be PC. That's not good. How about that? Someone posted, oh, no, I was just trying the exclamation D, and that's for the just short for the Discord link, because people ask like, hey, I don't know where the Discord or whatever, and so I just do exclamation D, and I just want to see if the Nightbot was in there to do different commands and stuff like that. There's just a couple links and things in there, so yeah, I just kind of will do it all here. So what we have in store is just maybe one thing, and then we'll just kind of take it where it goes and maybe do Q&A. I know Frederico is here. If y'all don't know Frederico, he is the one you'll see on some of the pull requests and new features. And I don't know if he's the one behind, I think Eric's name is actually on the pull request on Home Assistant itself, but it's not to say that Frederico's not part of that, maybe helping out, but he's doing the Tasmota side, I believe. So correct me if I'm wrong, Frederico. So he's also took over doing the let's see. You'll see a number of, let's see if we can find pull request and is closed. Is closed or closed? I forgot what it is. And you'll see FL in here somewhere. I did see him earlier in here. Yeah, see there's TuyaMCU update. He also does a lot of TuyaMCU stuff that, you know, we love and hate. I'm sure he probably hates it more than I do, or some of y'all do. I gotta get this window situated here. So Frederico does a lot of work, so very cool, and he'll probably correct me on a bunch of stuff that I screw up on, but that's good. Oh, Jay, that's that weird 8-channel PWM out of the same chip. I think Tasmota only supports the 5 channels of PWM. So BLE. What is BLE? I believe that's the Bluetooth Low Energy, if I have it right. Not a blender. It's not corn. Yeah, Bluetooth Low Energy. And some of the really good corns is spelled with a K, but you know, that's something a little different. Yeah. So Bluetooth, of course, Bluetooth is 2.4 gigahertz, and I will leave a lot of these different links and stuff. But let's see. If you go to the Tasmota GitHub, oh, very cool, Yosef. And if and don't hate on. I'm very bad with names. Sometimes I remember some really weird stuff at times, and then sometimes I just totally don't. I forget the name, and then really when y'all change up your pictures or your avatars, it really screws me up, or I butcher the name. So don't hate on me too much for that. So, um, if you're ever looking for, no, actually they did change it. Is I was looking at the stuff for the ESP32. For the ESP32, it is on the OTA server, but there's some other files you do need to flash the ESP32. And typically what I do, the way I find it, is I'll just go to the GitHub of Tasmota and then go down to, and y'all can hate on me all you want about the way I'm going to say Tasmoto or Tasmota or whatever I'm going to say it. It sounds all the same to me. But if you've been around for a while, you know, I always say it, you know, we should just call it Taz, right? I think that's what Stone had got me calling it. But if you look at the branch, change the branch to firmware. And if you come down here, you'll see the firmware folder, and then there's Tasmota 32, and these get built. You can see they get built automatically. And so that was 11 hours ago, probably the last commit that they did. So these are the kind of like the development ones. But if you look in the ESP32 needed files, if you've never flashed the ESP32, there, you know, like it's fresh out of the box, potentially, and I know some people have done it with like WLED and everything, you'll see some of the same bootloader stuff. And I'll copy these files into one folder along with my firmware, and then I'll just copy and paste this command. And a lot of times what I do is I do take out this port, and because you don't really need it. So this is kind of what I did here. And maybe scrunch this behind me. I was doing on my other screen. So it does look like a bunch of googly glop, but I don't type all that. I just copy and paste it and make sure my Tasmota 32 bin is in there in that same folder. And of course, you do need to get ESP Tool Pi installed. So if you don't already have it, it's very, well, I say it's simple. I was helping a family member that on an older Mac, and we were both stumbling through how to install Python and ESP Tool Pi, and then the CP2102 driver. But we ended up getting it. So, so this is the, let me back. This is the folder. You can always go back. So, but if you need to grab that stuff. And I just throw all that stuff in together. And I just threw it into like I threw it into I threw it all, those two folders into one folder. And that way I had the bootloader, the partitions, I had all the single one of them. And I don't know why that's tripping out on me. Nope. That's just YouTube doing that. So, because I do see a couple, don't tell me it's going to start missing packets. Hopefully we aren't going to be missing packets, or it's just the other side doing it. Well, it should be. It's back. Yeah, it's in. It's back somewhat. That's weird. Because I can ping no problem. I don't know if that's a YouTube issue or what. Because I'm not dropping packets on the pings. I wonder if that was a YouTube thing that dropped down for some reason. Well, I'll leave that ping window open just in case. So I will see what's going on. Where's the other window? Okay. I'm not sure if that was a YouTube thing at jumping over. Yeah, I've seen that before with sometimes like if YouTube starts to drag for some reason, it will. You got to refresh and then you can re-pull and pick the resolution. Yeah, there you got to force it back up. So, so where were we at? So I did this whole flash thing, and we can do it again if we want to, but really don't need to. Because then I have to put it back on my Wi-Fi, and then you'll have to wait and have to do it off screen, and the whole mess with that. So basically, all I did well, hell with it. Well, let's just go ahead and do it. So once I do have it connected, just using a regular USB cable. And maybe during the flash, you'll catch up on your resolutions and everything, and not your New Year's resolutions, but your YouTube resolutions, right? So they flash pretty quick because it changes that baud rate to 921K, and then it probably kept my settings because it did, unless it cleared the flash. No, it didn't clear the flash. It probably kept my settings. Let's see. Yeah. So, of course, at that point, you would need to either use your phone or Wi-Fi or whatever. It'll put out the access point. But since it's just an ESP32 chip plugged in, you could just pull up Termite, and there's the console right there. And you could just send over SSID and password. So I'm sure everybody is done that before. So why the ESP32 versus 8266 is the 8266 does not have Bluetooth in it. The ESP32 does. So, and basically what we're looking at for the Bluetooth low energy is this guy here. And I know it was done, I want to say it was, what's his name? I'm going blank with the Dig Uno boards and stuff. So is it Quentin or Intermittent Tech or something like that? I can't remember his name exactly. Like I said, I told you I'd butcher names. Quindor, there you go. I don't know why I would say Quentin. So he's done that with the ESP Home, and I went and looked at some of the ESP Home docks and stuff on Bluetooth Energy, Bluetooth low BLE. Let's just call it BLE. And I went and looked at them, and I thought it was kind of a pain. I do like ESP Home for a lot of different things. I like them for a lot of different sensor builds and stuff, but then there's some parts that just gets to be too much for too much sugar for the nickel. And so these little guys, I think we were a couple of us, Zippy and Boiler Boy. He was talking about them about doing them ESP Home on the 1111 sale. So I ordered 3 or 4 of them, of course, because in AliExpress you can't just order one of something; you got to order 2. So basically and they're super small. Let me fix I probably got to fix the zoom, not the zoom, where is it at? The focus. Let's see. Just to give you an idea, everybody knows what size those are. All right. So this is the little guy here. And yes, it is 36% humidity in here, unfortunately. Face is about to crack off and fall off. But so they do come with this stupid little smiley face looking thing. But I will tell you, this is the easiest little flash thing you can do. And I do want to put these in some other place. I just started playing with this last night after took apart my entire fridge and ice maker and water valves and relays, and yeah, would have been a different stream on how not to fix your fridge. So, but I got it back together. I just need parts now. So, and my buttons are missing for some reason on my stream thing, but we'll just do it manual. Yes, the smiley is stupid, Boiler. It is stupid. Um, I don't know. I didn't like it. So basically, if you go to this GitHub, and it's very, very simple. I will with an Android phone. I think Boiler Boy had some issues with iPhone, I believe. It was very, very simple to do with an Android phone. It literally takes you, what, 30, 45 seconds. Well, the flash takes a little longer than that, but it's just so simple to do for the flash. And the page is of how like you do it is it's stupid simple. There's not a lot to it. This is when you pull it up on your phone and you hit connect. And I know I didn't want to do this live because I guarantee you that as soon as I put my phone on the screen, someone's going to text me something stupid or whatever, and it'd be on the stream. I'm just not going to do it. I thought about it. I was like, I'll put it in airplane mode. Well, then it turns off Bluetooth. So all you got to do is hit connect, and it pulls up the list. You pick the little LY thing. You go and pick the do activation, and then you hit choose file. You follow right along. And it's really, really simple. He has it right here. It's these little instructions. There's no wires. Now you can do the USB UART stuff. I didn't. I just did this do activation, authorize, boom, boom, boom. It was stupid simple to do. And what that does, it puts the different firmware on it. That way the communications are not encrypted over BLE. So yeah, if you did it Mac, hey, great. I know someone else was fighting with it. So 36 is muggy. No, it's super dry to me. Typically it's probably like 70 or 80%. So what's up, Raymond? I do appreciate it for what's the MX designation? The pesos, I believe, or yeah, yep, okay, yep. Oh, wow. Thank you, sir. That's crazy. Definitely very cool. You've been binge watching. There's probably some very old ones I would probably laugh at. I thought about doing that one day as a live stream, and I know I've seen some other various like non-tech channels do that, just to kind of go dig through the past and kind of roast. And I would definitely roast myself on some of the stuff that I did in the past. Not that some of it was bad, just some of the video editing and the lighting, it was just absolutely horrible. But I guess it just shows you learn I'm still not where I want to be. So, but a lot of the stuff still, I try to make some of it still relevant. So thanks a lot, Raymond. BTC. No, I don't have. I think I have some in an account, but I don't know how much. I think it was probably some change left over and some weird thing I had to buy. So, but I don't know. I had to go. I think I saved them on the computer. I don't remember. So, but I probably don't have enough Bitcoin. That's the thing. So, so once you do that, this is pretty cool. Is just flash the regular Tasmota ESP32, and you go to console, and I'm not making this up. If you look in BLE sensors, there's, I think we're right here. You have to turn on set option 115. And all you do is do SO 115.1. And it's going to actually reboots the ESP chip. So you're living in an old rental home and want to add a couple switches. The landlord going to be okay? Sometimes the landlords get kind of pissy with it. So once you turn it on, it reboots. The only thing, yeah, definitely, I had to do the little conversion on that. I do it with Jim. I'm not up on my conversion stuff, as you can see. So while we're waiting on this to poll, there is a poll time where it says MI 32 period, and it defaults to the regular teleperiod, and I set mine to 30. But you can see already, if you look at the sensor, or if you want to see it right here, it just pops in. So that's it. There's no like pairing or nothing. The hardest part is the command line to do the Tasmota ESP32, and then doing that ATC thermometer page, and that's like it's easy. So there's no writing any YAML code or finding out MAC IDs or nothing like that. It's that simple. And I was like, whoa, it just pops up like that. So very cool stuff. I don't know how much easier this can get. Copy and paste to flat. Hell, you could probably use ESP Home Flasher to flash the Tasmota ESP32 bin and get rid of this. But it's pretty simple. And I'll show you something even easier. So go into now. Yeah, that is different with the Olimex. I don't know. I remember seeing something about the Olimex support in Tasmota. I think it is, but I don't know how you enable. I haven't messed with it. Yeah, the range, I do have them very close. I did set it over there to the other room, and it dropped to like -75. I don't know the exact range. So, good thermostat for HA. I tell you, well, and that's kind of we'll kind of get on that topic. I prefer a thermostat, devices that have local control, or local control you can turn on, and then cloud control you can either opt out of or opt in. So I like that, being able, hey, if I just want to do 100% local, I'm good. But if I want to do local mixed with their cloud, hey, I'm good there. It just gives you that, opportunity to do exactly what you want. I actually like the, I was supposed to do it last week, but I have not done it, is put it in, and I know they're kind of, they have a few different ones. There's a company called Vinstar. Let's see. They do have a non-color model, but the one thing that's cool is there is an integration that is built right into Home Assistant, and that's the Vinstar. And I know we got it jumped off, but that's the Vinstar. I want to jump back to this. There is a Vinstar. There's a smaller model that's cheaper, and they are Wi-Fi, and the API is, you turn it on, is local, and it's just using JSON. So it's pretty cool. Now I haven't bought the me or my, I want to call it my thermostat, but so let me jump back. We'll finish this right quick. So the cool part, want to get this in, and I know people are like, oh, I got to write all kind of this and that and do this. I have not done any set option 19 or auto discovery, nothing like that. The only thing I've done to this thing is what I did. I showed you that 115. I changed the poll period where it polls a little faster. And I went in and set my MQTT stuff. And I pointed it over to my little test VM that I have. And I did not do auto discovery. Now I do have the integration of Tasmota, the Tasmota beta integration. And so it just pops straight in. And it's pretty cool. You jump in, boom, and we probably got to refresh. Or is it going to make a liar out of me? This wasn't here earlier. Because I removed it. Can you pull more than one sensor? I believe you can, because there's an option for doing 4. We can do another one here. I bought 4 of these things. I'm not going to pair all 4 of them up. What other devices? Let me see. Let me restart this. I think we may have to maybe I have to restart this one or something. It just popped in earlier. No, that was all the unhit. There was it had all of the Tasmota sensors were hidden, and it didn't, for some reason it didn't have the maybe Frederico would be like, oh, you're doing it wrong. Let's see. There it goes. Now they are showing. There they go. I just need to restart Tasmota, because earlier I popped it in, and my screen is scrunched, so yours probably won't look like this, because you probably got your nice wide monitor. The devices that you can add, I didn't look at all the devices. Go dig through this page after you're done watching my idiot self. I did see they had a bunch of different devices and everything. I didn't go through all of them. I don't have all of them, so you can go through and read. I'm sure ESP Home probably supports a different set, maybe. I don't know. So, and of course, I just see Mark talking about Open MQTT Gateway. I haven't messed with that one on Bluetooth. I've messed with that on 433 megahertz stuff. So FL stuff is working. So yeah, we'll just do add to Lovelace. Let's just say home and add to Lovelace UI. Sounds great. We'll just accept, and that's it. So it's straight in here. You can see it's already charting and everything. I guess the look, that was earlier. I had it hooked up. Humidity's been in the dumps. So it's pretty simple to add in. There's no doing any templating and all this stuff. And it's, did y'all want to see if we can do a second one and see what it looks like? Talking about their other personality. I don't know if you want to, I'm listening to Google tell me about taking the trash down. What, could Tasmota not be flashed on the device directly? No, I don't know what chipset is in these things, but you're not going to flash it directly. Yeah, we'll do a second one here. I'll see if I can find something to chit chat about. Yeah, there is that other radio thermostat, and it's I have looked at that one. That's another one. And that other one was it was the Yeah, because I've seen it. I've seen them before. The CT50, but they're not the sometimes the acceptance factor is not there on. They look rather old school. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah, that's that CT50. Yeah, the Node MCU I'm using, was it ESP32? Probably bought one of these or something. It's just your typical ESP32 board. I think I linked it before, and you can even use these. You can even use these style as well. The Wemos D1 Mini style ESP32s. So yeah, just whatever the ESP32s are going to be. There's a lot of different packages on the ESP32s, and let's see. Let me find. Because I know I used these because I was messing with them because they had the right. I could run it off 12 volts, and of course playing with Christmas light stuff. And if I can find them, I gotta scroll way back and all the crap I have bought in the past couple of weeks, or my wife has bought too. Yeah, the pinout doesn't matter. It's just some of them are different links. They have the antenna is different. Some of the ESP32s have the it's not MMCX. It's like UFL, I think it is. It's that little antenna connector. Oh, hey, Jim. I do appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Oh, wow. Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, that's 2.5 million clicks on things. Just definitely not what I thought was ever going to happen that day, the first time I did that dimmer. That was interesting. So, and now it's in FL's hands now of the TuyaMCU. Yeah, these are the ones I'm using. It's just they're real simple. It looks like a Node MCU, but you'll notice if you haven't done the ESP32, if you remember how they have the D1, D2, D3, and then you got to convert them to GPIO pins, and it's a pain in the. Well, they've done it differently in ESP32. You can notice all the pins. They'll have D2, D4. Well, this one is, maybe I'm making a liar out of me. They're usually G. Maybe it's this one that has D. But typically they'll use just the GPIO numbers, and there's no conversion table. So, yeah, that Type C. I might want to look at that Open MQTT gateway, and now I got my mouth running, and we're not flashing the other one. Yeah, that was that other, that's another local integration. So, and that's pretty. I mean, to me, I don't care what it really looks like in the hallway, as long as I can control it. If for some reason, because Murphy's Law is going to happen, is for some reasons you're out of town or something or whatever, you got people over at the house and something's going to go down and break, you don't want a thermostat that is not going to control itself. And because you'll be out of town, the wife or partner or whatever it might be is at home, and they're going to call you at 3 a.m. saying, hey, there's icicles hanging from the damn ceiling because your stupid thermostat don't work. So I want something that is going to still control itself. So let's see. Let me find my phone, and I will flash this guy while, and I guess y'all gonna try to get me to do it on my phone, right? On the live. I should have had two of them. All right, gotta go back to the instructions. All right, had the firmware downloaded and hit connect. And let's see if I can, I'll show it quickly, right? Oh, hey, Kelly. Thank you, sir. Definitely. Wow. Thank you, all of you guys. Thanks for, and gals that may be out there. I don't want to leave anybody. Definitely. Thank you. If you have any other ideas for stuff you want to see, and I'll take them always. You can always hit me up on Discord, or you can email me at the channel name on the Gmail domain, by the way. So if you can see at the top, see that LYMMC? That's the one I pick. And just hit pair. And after the connection, say do activation. All right. To authorize while doing so, you can select the firmware file. And give me a second. It doesn't take that long to flash. Pass all the kid pictures and start flashing. Yeah. And so then you can kind of see you can see in the middle right there, you can see how it's doing the 20, it's counting up. If I can stop my hands from shaking and my glass from showing the glare. And so it's 50% done. Yeah, and some people will say that I didn't save them money. They kept buying more crap, but I'd say it's definitely a lot cheaper than buying some of those $40, $50 Z-Wave and other type of light switches. So, I mean, hell, we can, especially now, you can get some of the light switches for like $10 a pop now. Okay, so while I was doing so, select the firmware, B. Oh, I gotta switch back so y'all can see. Start flashing. After the flashing, the device should reboot. If the screen stays off, pull out the battery for a short amount of time. To flash, no, we don't want to flash the stock firmware back. It looks like it rebooted. Let's see if we can connect. Yep, we got two ATCs. Now I'm getting confused. One of them says AOD. Yeah, this one. Oh, look, it's already showing up. Well, that's, see, this is the older firmware. This is the, and it won't show the stuff because it's encrypted. And let me change the settings. Detected first. We'll change it to 1 minute. And we'll change it to Fahrenheit and the smiley off. What's up? What are you looking? Yeah, what are you looking for? Go make you some hot chocolate. Make a bunch of racket. Everybody's just gonna get mad at you. So this glass. Oh no, I did say glass. So, all right. So now we have two of them. And of course, they're different temperatures. I've been handling one of them. I wonder if it'll forget this connection here. Maybe we'll have to, it should repoll like every 30 seconds. So, well, let's just hit restart and see what happens. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, it should poll the other one. I did set it on the 1 minute the delay, not delay, 1 minute advertise, I think, and I haven't done ever. So we'll see if it pulls up on that one. So it may just be I'm being impatient, like typically. Connect. We'll connect to that one. Oh, look. Yep. Told you I was being impatient. So, any way to name the sensor? Let's see. MAC address. There's how to block different ones. These are about the beacons. I don't see a way to name them. There might be a way, but you may have to do like a rule or something, or I may be missing something with how to exactly name them. Now, of course, once you did, let's see if this does. I know FL is going to start running. I don't know if it's, see, it's not going to come up as the friendly name though. Because see, like if you go into, it's just as a sensor. Because if you can, and of course this is for others too that don't use Home Assistant and like you do a lot of Node-RED. It is all in the sensor here. It's all, you see how it names ATC and it uses part of the MAC ID, and then you'll see that here's the second sensor. It's all going to be in that sensor. So if you're familiar with digging stuff out using like power monitoring and whatnot, it's in that same little sensor thing. So Frederico may know if they know how to name them in there, but really once you get them in there, it's going to be named in Home Assistant is what I'm getting at. And let's see, we may need a reboot of the sensor. Let's just see. Frederico's probably like, oh, don't click on that. I don't want to see if it's going to go in there. So I don't know if it shows both of them in here. Maybe we need to do another reboot, maybe, Frederico. I don't know if it does. If I haven't tested two of them before in here. So we got both of them in here. Let's just do a restart. And then we'll refresh that page. And I know that it'll eventually pull up. So, well, it does name them on the, just do SO190. Oh, okay. It'll trigger that again, basically. It looks like, I don't know if I did the poll time the same on both of these. I may have cheated and did, there's on that page, you can set the advertisement time for 10 seconds. And I may have not done that on the other one. There's a huge, you may be far behind, Frederico. I don't know how big, I do have it set. Make sure you drag the thing over. I do have it on ultra, I just want to make sure, I do have it on ultra low latency. So, typically the delays like 5 to 6 seconds. So, with the round trip. So I'm not sure why that one taking a while to come in. But we'll see what it does. We'll jump over to something else and see if give it time to pull in, and because I been messing with it, and the only thing I could say, unless we did the oh, hey, thanks, Ricker. Do appreciate it, sir. I'm gonna pull the battery out just to make sure, because they did talk about taking the battery out after you flash the firmware. And look, the thing's working now. But I think the settings, Boiler Boy was saying, yeah, look, the setting, when you change the battery, the settings don't stay. See, it's got that stupid little smiley face again. We'll put it back on, if I can get it to pull up again. That's the E6. See, I see that one. There's the other one. Did it connect? We'll set it back to F. I know we should all use Celsius, right? They told me that when I was in the 80s. They said, oh yeah, by the time you get older and graduate college and everything, everybody's going to be doing Celsius and the metric thing in the US. We're not going to be using that anymore. Well, that was a long time ago. And still not doing it. It's stored in the RAM. Oh, the RAM data type. Yep. So I'm not sure why it's not pulling the other one. Is it my M32? What was it? I forgot the name of it now. The period should be set to 30. Yeah, it's set to 30. I don't know why it's not pulling the second one. So, I had it pulling the second one at first. That's crazy. So what else did I miss? I know they were talking about some Z-Wave stuff, and that one pulls back fast. I don't know why, because it's the first one. There is a setting, which I know when y'all asked, there's a setting right here. Show the maximum number of sensors per page in the web UI list. And it has the defaults to 4. So, welcome, Patrick. Nice to see you here from the country of New Zealand. It's impossible to have knowledge about all sensors early at boot. Depending on the sensor, it can last more to get to first. Okay. Well, we'll let it sit. We'll come back to it. And because I'm being impatient, I'm sure. So, move my phone before I end up getting it on the live stream. Yeah, it's my first time really messing with this stuff. So, what else? What else we had? So we did the BLE sensor, and I know it's been a while since we've done a live stream. And I know we talked about some of the upgrades to, like, I think it was 9.0 at that time. It says the 4. It's, you notice what it says? It says number of 4 per page. So I don't know how many you can have. So I'm guessing there's it'll do multiple pages. I don't know. Whoever has more than 4, let me know, or let us know, or whatever. I guess you could just change it, and it would just, I guess, would make the Tasmota screen be really tall. So, probably some of the same stuff. I don't know how far it can be. I took this one earlier, and I don't know, it was maybe 20 feet, 12 sensors. 20 feet behind me, and it was like minus 70 or something like that. So there's the answer right there, huh, Scott? So would that have been, I'm just trying to think of the year when I remember hearing that. It was probably 2nd or 3rd grade. So it was probably after that I heard that. So I don't know. We'll give that a shot. I was trying to see if there was anything else in 9.1 that was some of the, I don't know, cool different features. Set it to 1 per page. Oh, that's not a bad idea. So remind me to do that when the second one decides to pop in. Then we'll remind me to do that. This was cool. It was the dimmer. I thought the dimmer step. I don't know if y'all have seen that yet. Have you tried? No, I have the Shelly dimmer 2, but I know there's a procedure. Not the Shelly dimmer 2. That's the one with no neutral, right? No, I don't. I have the original. That have the original Shelly dimmer, and I have not done that flash procedure yet, because you have to flash the kind of like the secondary MCU. I know it's on for Tasmota to support it. So, I saw the dimmer step. I'm just going to go real quick. Some of the stuff I caught my eye was the dimmer step. Instead of jumping 10 at a time, the big one was one FL talked about. I think maybe I've talked about it previously. That just because I liked some of these features is the set option 114 is just like the multi-press set option 73 that decouples the buttons from the relays. This decouples the switches from the relays. Yeah, no, it will not. I know we get that question asked a lot. Is for multi-press on TuyaMCU. And see if I can how to explain it. Well, here we go. So here's a regular light switch. And regular light switch, there's just an ESP chip in it. So you know, of course, just a little GoSun or whatever, and you flash the ESP chip on it. It has control of the LED on it, control of the relay that lights up the hot wire when you turn the light on and off, and then it has control of what you do with the button. Well, imagine that the way the TuyaMCU works is now that there's another chip inside here that is attached to the relay, the buttons, the faceplate, the whole 9 yards. The only thing, imagine this, the ESP chip. The ESP chip sits to the side. And all the ESP chip does is it just talks back and forth to pretty much the whole light switch and tells over Wi-Fi, hey, now my dimming is 50%. Okay, now somebody moved their finger and set it to 10. So then Tasmota or even the stock firmware sends out, hey, dimming is 10% now. Oh, hey, somebody turned it off. Well, actually the way what happens is then when the other vice versa happens, when a command comes in over Wi-Fi, it sends it to the TuyaMCU. The TuyaMCU says, okay, I set to 50% now, and sends it back to the ESP chip. So the ESP chip does not have any control over the buttons itself. You could actually, and I have done this on accident, I don't recommend it, but if you're all doing serial, you can try it, is you can actually delete and totally delete the ESP chip where it doesn't boot at all. And the switch will still work. The dimmer will still work. You can push the button, you can dim it, it works. It just becomes a dumb dimmer. And you don't even need the ESP chip is just a modem. So it can't control the buttons. It doesn't even see the buttons. So there's no way to really do a multi-press on the TuyaMCU. So I know we get that question a lot and people are like, well, why is it? And it's just, if you go look at on the template, and this is my original, let's see. This is the very original dimmer that I did back when I did that first pull request to bring in the TuyaMCU. Is when you go look at the configuration of there's not really a template for TuyaMCU, but if you want to look at a template of it and it's TuyaMCU, you'll notice, well, it's not changing to it. There, here we go. That's what I was looking for. You'll notice there's no like switch one, there's no relay one. It's just an RX and a TX line. It uses serial communication just like you used to use, or some of us used to use, to dial up to BBSs and AOL, stuff like that. It uses serial communication across to talk to the chip. And some of you will recognize, most of them use 9600 baud. Some of them have changed to 115K. Yeah, you can dig around and look at the traffic. You typically don't see the buttons, except for this one. But this one's meant to see the buttons. I know he's in there somewhere. The scene controller. The one with the 7 buttons. Well, it's 8, but this is actually the relay. This one does actually send the TuyaMCU packets of each button. You can do single press and double press and for those buttons. So, and this is my little setup of how to do it. If you want to do it with how I did it with Node Red and how I did it with rules. And if you want to do one with YAML automations, you can do that as well. And I did get confirmation that I want to say it was last week. Someone bought 4 or 5 of them, and another person bought some, and they said they're still Tuya convert. So, do we still get to hear the modem tone? Yeah, I'm sure we can all still hear it in our sleep. The cough button on my mic. See, we didn't pull up yet. That is so strange. That is very strange. And both of them are working, which is very weird. I don't know if they're too close to each. That shouldn't be because they're too close to each other. The only thing I want to make sure is you're screwing with them damn Bluetooth things again. To get to some other subject. Let's see. Oh, look, there it goes. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Any way to make that scene controller sit on a nightstand as opposed? It's gonna be a standard Decora 1 gang box. I guess I would be careful doing it. You could do it, but it's. I would probably much prefer that if you did it, definitely put it in a electrical box and make sure nothing ever comes. That it's screwed together where there's no wires and it come out of it. Yeah, I just be careful doing it because it is mains and you don't want ever somebody fumbling around with it. And expose mains, the side. But if you do have it in a box, I can't see the big issue of it. I know typically by code, they probably want you to put it like in a metal conduit box, but I don't know. So you could do, depends on how crazy you want to get. So they do have a lot of different remotes and stuff that you could do things with. You could even, it depends on how DIY you wanted to get. You could do ESP32 or something with some buttons. And why I say ESP32 is because you have more GPIO pins to deal with, and you could really get crazier with it if you wanted to. And I mean crazier is like you could do short press, long press, multi press, etc. So, yeah, or mount it in the nightstand if you want to cut a hole in it. That's not bad. That wouldn't be a bad thing if you could do that, and it'd be flush mounted. So it's not pulling up here. Are you saying do an SO19? Frederico, if he's still there? Would it reforce it? Oh, okay. It's reforcing the state and the sensor. Okay, I see what you're Ah, look at that. Look at that. Frederico knows what he's talking about. And let's see. Let me go delete this card. Man, look at Frederico pulling out the fix. And I'm sure if you wouldn't mess with it and the Bluetooth would pick it up, you know, it would be fine. It's just I'm being impatient because everybody's waiting. It's one of those Murphy's Law thing of when you're trying to show something to somebody, show something to somebody. You know, you're just significant other and you're like, oh, let me show you this. And they're like, and then you go click on your phone and it just seems like it's spinning and spinning forever to load. And you're like, oh, it wasn't that slow earlier. Well, it's always gonna, it's confirmed. When you're showing something, it's always gonna be slower. It's one of those things you never want to do a live demo. So there we go. So there's now, and then William said, do it one per page. Let's see what happens. Is it going to reboot it though? I don't know. We'll see. It's probably going to force a reboot, huh? Let's see. And then we'll probably be back and we're just like going to wait for it to scan or something. I'm waiting to see if it's going to reboot. How do you change? I see it says one of two. Oh, look. Here's how you look right in front of me. Here's the page. It looks like I clicked. Yeah, some clicking and you can change. Or maybe it's jumping. Is it jumping by itself? Or am I clicking to get it to change? No, it's jumping by itself. So it changes as it updates. Oh, the custom menu? Yes. I know people do ask about this, and I'm gonna mess his name up. We call him the Node MCU Popper, Dr. Node MCU Popper. Talked about it in my Christmas light thing. I want to say he sent it to me, and then I modified it to do, because I got tired of digging. I would get confused. I'm like, okay, configuration, integrations, and then I wanted to see, integrations, and then scroll over here. I wanted to go to MQTT, and it would just, or then they kept moving this on me, it felt like, and go down to, where's it at? See, I can't even find it. Server controls, and then go down here and hit restart. I got tired of it. I wanted to put it in here. And if I pasted it in here, I'll see if I can do it tomorrow. I'll put it on like my little blog post. Yeah, Jay Shawalbi, if I'm saying it right. He's probably going to say I screwed it up, but that'd be perfect. I'll see if I can post it in my blog. I'll do a little blog post on it because I get a lot of people asking about it. And it's some really simple code, and it does work whether you're using Hass.io or HassOS, Core, whatever, because I use just Core and it works fine. So, if you want, come into Discord and I'll post it. Because if you're impatient like me, you want it now, I'll post it after the stream. Just someone try to remind me to post that code. So it's just something you paste into your YAML and change a couple things. It's pretty easy to do. Before the sensor started working, we were going to do something else. We were on the TuyaMCU. We did the buttons. Yeah, it's just in the YAML. What did we do? Tell me, the only other thing I wanted to, if you wanted to look at all the traffic, if you do a weblog 4 and you're like, well, what the hell is weblog 4? It's just a shortcut. You can actually go to configuration, go to logging, and change weblog 4 right here. But it saves clicks, and if you know it, you can just change it. And what that does is now on the console, you're going to see like all kinds of different messages. So on the Tuya stuff, you're going to notice right off the bat, it's going to be doing those heartbeat packets like every 11 seconds. And so it will send over the data and then it comes back, etc. Now I don't want to get up and go push things, but if you want to go push on the buttons, you may be able to see that it may have some different traffic, but typically on the dimmers there's not. So yeah, search for if you go into the Discord and search for, I think it's like iframe or something. I know someone will get it faster than me when I look it up in my file. Search for panel_custom in there. Yes, the HA switch plates. And I have one sitting behind me as the mini projects. I know he was, if you don't want to, I don't know if he didn't want to buy one, do a DIY type thing on it. Does he have it just as hasp? I'll probably come up with all kind of stuff. HA switch plate. Well, he raised the price on it. Yeah, he does sell them pre-assembled. Or if you want to make your own, he's got a whole like thing on how to make your own. And no, I don't have any affiliation with him or nothing like that. It's a cool project, been around for a while, cool guy. Go through and dig through it. I want to say he does link to his GitHub. Yeah, he even links to his GitHub, shows you everything of how to build it. Got all the STL files. You want to print out your own cases. He's got all the parts and pieces, the bill of materials. He does an excellent job at documentation. I think I really wish I could do stuff like that. So, excellent job. You don't find many programmers that are well organized, write excellent code, and write excellent documentation. That's just not the norm. So, so lots of different choices. Yeah, if I could quit my job and just do a lot of this stuff, it would be way different. Way different. In time devoted, but hey, not there yet. So, but it's a niche market, but hey, I enjoy it. So, what else do we have? We did the things. Did y'all? I'm not going to spend much time on it. Supposedly, Martin Jerry is supposed to come out soon with a DIY switch, supposedly without an MCU, but I haven't seen it yet. We can go look at OpenMQTT Gateway. I haven't messed with that in a while. I do have one comment about the local Tuya integration. That's not it, Travis? And this was just that ESP32 just plugged in. Martin Jerry did come out with another dimmer, not the rotary dimmer. And I know a lot of you knew my things on that. They come out with a touch panel, and I know I don't have it flashed or anything, but it is a TuyaMCU. It's a touch panel with the LEDs, and then the on-off is touch panel. And now one thing I do like about their dimmers that they've been doing now is this right here. This little wheel on the bottom, because it comes out the switch on the bottom here, and that allows you to set the bottom end of the dimmer itself. Now, we're not talking software-wise, but basically you do it per bulb or fixture, and you try to set that wheel, you set it all the way down to the lowest setting on the faceplate, and then you set that wheel just to where the lowest part of the bulb, because some bulbs will automatically cut off. Like if you get to 30%, they'll just shut off. And so you lost that 30% of scale. So you can actually turn, and it's just really easy to do. You don't have to jack with any software and stuff. I do like how they're doing that. So, but this one's just a straight up TuyaMCU deal, no big deal type of dimmer. We've all seen the Treat Life. It's very similar, I think, to the Treat Life dimmers. And I am trying to do, because I know it's a common question for these, the DS01Cs, and there's another model of Treat Life of how to do these without having to short circuit or cut traces on the MCU, because these are all going to be blocked, and just using the jig on it's pretty easy to do. So, the Nova Stella lights. Other guy we talked about, Jay Schwalbe. He tried taking one apart, and it wasn't that. I saw your note about the picture. Or you can do a cell phone. Do you want to show that picture, Jay? I just want to ask before I pull a picture over it somebody sends. Not that there's nothing really in it, but he tried pulling one of those apart, and I think he posted some pictures of it. I don't think he wasn't just trying to get it back together. He wasn't very successful with doing those big spotlights. So what UI? That is, I've gone over that before, which I know everybody doesn't have time to watch every Tasmobackup V1. And I think I saw Patrick in here earlier. But here's the, I'll drag that picture over here. So it looks like he's got a cell phone. It's going to zoom in no matter what. And a cell phone with like a card, maybe. Is that what that is? And in the in the wall. That's pretty cool. Definitely a good use instead of throwing out old cell phones and stuff that just don't. Yeah, in Tasmobackup, go through and look through it. There's a bunch of ways you can install it. I know everybody runs anything different. There's the Docker Compose people. There's a straight Docker. There's raw. You can do Has, just Has. I want to say Has.io, Has.os. Where's he? I probably skipped it. Yeah, right here. If you're using Supervisor, throw in the thing. Boom, it's there. You're done. It pops right in, and you can go through and scan through all your devices. And I use it for, right, you saw me use it right there. I don't, because I don't reserve IPs for all the switches and stuff. And it backs everything up on, like you can see these backed up today. And it backs all the devices up, and now puts them on my server, which if you're using Supervisor, then it'll pull them, it'll back them up with the snapshots. But I use Crash Plan. I do these, so these all get backed up. And the great thing is these aren't constantly beating on the devices looking for status updates. So it's a very static page except for the updates, and you can force the updates. And yeah, if your IPs change, it's not a good thing. On my router, my IPs seem to be very static, even if the device is off for several weeks. And even though I don't set it, and it comes back as the same IP, so I don't. But that's, yeah. If they change IPs a lot, you want to use this. You probably should reserve your IPs with DHCP then. And there's Patrick right there. He's talking about working on it. So look at that. Awesome support. And the cool thing about it is you can come in here and hit MQTT Discover, and it'll do an MQTT, or you can do, if you do the IP address range, give it time, give it patience. It's going to scan the whole section you want, and it adds them in here. But you can see it makes all the links. You can sort by stuff. It's pretty cool. No, I don't use Unify. I'm using Ubiquiti Edge Router 4 right now. So Um, who was asking about I used to use local IPs as well, but right now I've got 71, and that gets 71 IPs to go and go around and everything. So that's kind of gets to be a pain. The local Tuya integration, I know I didn't play with it myself. A couple people were playing with it. I don't have the link, so if someone wants to send it to me on Discord, I can share it. That's fine. I appreciate it. It did work, and it wasn't that crazy to get set up from what I recall. But because that was Justin, okay. The only issue I saw, and I asked it because I was just like, hey, because I would want to do the local Tuya integration. That's fine. But I would want to block that IP from having internet access. But apparently when you do reboot the device, it flips out and it doesn't work. Correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, I think it's what it was. The device was fine, blocked from the internet, but as soon as you rebooted it from a power outage or whatever, it wouldn't work with the Tuya integration, local Tuya integration anymore. So, yeah, Kevin, if you look and scan through, you can put it on 2x. There's a lot of my rambling. I did show, I was like a couple live streams ago, I did show the Tasmo device manager. I don't want to bore everybody with that. And it's an active it's not Docker, it's not server or Docker based. You run it on your local computer and it's Python, and it's kind of a list, and it shows stuff with your devices. So with Tasmo, and you can jump into the consoles and do rules and stuff. It's pretty cool. So that one's Tasmo Device Manager. Yeah, and it uses MQTT, and I know there's Tasmo Admin, but it just doesn't use Tasmo Admin. I haven't had a good experience with it in the past because it was using HTTP. So, and I don't want to bash it anymore than I had before. Not that I'm trying to bash it, but what else? Oh, we were talking about open. Yes, the last. I'll say it now. I'll say it now. Tasmo Device Manager, and I'm not hating on. Look, there's these names. I think people. Nah, I'm just picking. His last commit was almost a year ago. If you know Python, you know somebody that knows Python. I mean, I'm sure it's GitHub. I'm sure all the code is on here. It looks like it. I haven't dug through all of it. So if you got time, I know holidays coming up, you don't piss off the significant other much, but maybe you could. I don't know if he's open to pull requests still because he's too busy. But you could do your own fork and jump off and kind of make it yours. That's what GitHub is. So if you know Python or whatever, and you think you could continue to add features and stuff and bring it more up to speed, because like, for instance, we have 4 group topics now and device groups, and there's a bunch of new features this one doesn't pull in, but it's still, like I say, it still works well. It just needs a little polishing. So yeah. And like you say, sure there's tons of testers and everything. So as a call for action from the Python people. So, and Python is not, I started learning I don't know, I'm not very well versed on it. It's not that bad to learn on. Oh, he is working on a new release. Okay, maybe we can put stuff together. I don't know, somehow. Contact him on there. There you go. That's what GitHub's for. Check out this brand, removable module from the outlet. Yeah, so if you can give some help somehow, however, it looks like somebody's doing some pull request here. October 23rd, October 7th. So yeah, there are somebody doing some pull request, and it looks like Is he responding? I guess we'll see. Maybe FL knows more. I don't know. It looks like he's responding, so he's not gone. Oh, look. This bug is already fixed in the upcoming 0.3 to be released this week. But it looks like he got behind because it's been... I'm not going to... I know people get busy. I get busy. And I get stuff I didn't do, so... I'll get on it now. Yeah, I get off on a little tangent. It's a cool tool. Was it open? What was it, Mark? I want to scroll back. Open MQT. I get confused. They were asking about it. Open MQTT gateway. Swidget. Let's look at that one. Busy, but he's working on it. Swidget customize outlet. You know, it's funny. I've actually thought about that would be cool if someone could make, but I know the cost would be high. If they could make like an ESP modular switch and outlet where you could put like 3 modules where you could like a relay button, you could do like motion sensor, temperature, and pop stuff in and out. Docker for HA. We won't get on that discussion again. So what's the modular thing in here they do? I thought I've seen this before. Add a Wi-Fi or so you just add, you can make it Wi-Fi or Z-Wave. I would wish they could do something else. Now I wonder what Wi-Fi module it adds. Do you know? Power. Oh, it does power monitoring. Sometimes these things that they say power monitor is you're just saying you can tell if it's on or off, and it's a different power monitoring than what we think of. Guide light, Wi-Fi. I could have sworn I've seen this before. Somebody showed this to me before. It just seems all too familiar. Maybe it's one of those deja vu things. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's $40. But how much is the module? I wonder. Now you got me wondering how much the module is. Oh, well, I don't know. So, I'm going to lose it again. Open MQT. It's been a while since I messed with this one. This one's like everything under the sun, basically. I mean, it seems to be. List of compatible boards and BLE gateways. Let's do list. Here's the device supported devices. Let's see what they got on here. Oh, look, there we go. I can Xiaomi, if I'm saying it right. The Sonos 433. Now, no, it's not going to make 433 megahertz come out of your ESP32. Don't think that. So there's all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to go through them all and bore you. There's 59 devices to read through. I'm looking for the compatible boards. I remember there was like, you could do there's that Olimex ESP32 gateway. There's that's the ESP32 with Ethernet. Or just getting old and just say, what did he say? Xiaomi? Is that the one you were talking about? Yeah. Now this interested me at the Sonos Basic RF. Like you could turn the Sonos Basic RF into a listening device. When I was looking at that one, I remember the past. There's the Sonos RF bridge. I'm just looking at off-the-shelf stuff. that's not really, yeah. So there is the DIY, the ESP32. And they even did, there was like components and stuff if you wanted to add to, like, I remember seeing like the 433 megahertz transceivers. So it's a rabbit hole of stuff, but man, I remember going through it. It was pretty cool. So a dual plug. Somebody sent me a message on Discord. Oh, okay. The link I was looking for. I will show there's a couple different plugs that both of them, as far as I know, for US based, and I know the Canada people and everything, and even others. I'm scrolling back way far back in my, let me see. If I just search plug, I want to make sure I got the right one. Yeah, there is all kind of stuff. I played with that on the Sonoff gate RF bridge. I was messing with that one, and you could listen to all kind of stuff that was 433 megahertz. So that was pretty cool. So this one is the, I know they had dual main socket with dual USB-C. So this one, and like I said, I did buy this one. Let me make sure I can see the screen and I can talk. They had a coupon on here at one time. But this one is a 3-plug IP55. And no, I'm not saying that IP, but yeah. So it's 3 relays and it has power monitoring. So, and the cool thing was, if it's not Tuya convert, it's a standard TYWE3S, and say that 3 times, 5 times fast or whatever. So we would be able to easily, it was wide open, it would be easily to manually put Tasmota ESP home, whatever you want on these. There is another one, and it has screws. There's no glue and stuff. You just open it up. It screws. But it was Tuya convert last month. There was another one, the AO Coker. That was also, it was a little cheaper, 2 relay, but no power monitoring. And I think the IP rating was different. So look up your IP ratings, and if it's something about IP, you may want to go see a doctor. That type of IP. Currently unavailable. Well, that sucks. Everybody bought them. Yeah, that was the A Coker boiler. Am I just... You're taking your chance with Tekken. Tekken, I'm just looking at these other ones. You're taking your chance with Tekken. It's tough. Outdoor smart plug. That's a dimmer. Tekken one. I have seen the Power UIs. I think they were doable. I think they were. The Moros, I would stay away from the Moros. The Bean Link was one. I don't remember if it was... It's in stock November 8th. I just don't remember if it was waterproof. I don't even see the IP rating on it. So... See, Mac, you're going to get me to say... See? No. You should never return your products unless there's legitimately something wrong with it. So... That's all I can say. The wall socket with a relay and US. I have not seen that, Aaron. I have not seen it with the relay. We have the same brand as yeah, I've heard that brand before. I would say if you don't have, you don't want to. I've seen USB A in them, but they're not. There's no power. There's no power delivery in them. I can say that this one, I looked through a bunch of them. Like Top Greener has a bunch of good plugs, but see, Sir Goodenough is trying to get me to. I bought this one in August, and I have it installed in my kitchen, and I think you can see it in the Martin Jerry rotary dimmer one, but it has Quick Charge 3.0 and PD 2.0 with Quick Charge 3.0 on USB-C. And I put it in the kitchen because there's not really I can't just put one of those. I don't want it sticking out of the wall and stuff and cords. So I wanted something in the wall. Now your best solution is probably just to get one of those plugs you put on the outside. So, but had power issues. Oh, Mike, let's go over a set option. You know, I love. We can talk Tasmota all day, right? Is set option. Where's my search? 65. Use this one sparingly, because it's the option you love and you hate. I'm glad that I had it set, but I'll tell you when I set it. When the device is in production, now it doesn't happen as often now because they did change it to 7 power cycles 3 or 4 months, or maybe more than that. Don't quote me now. You have to go back and look. It used to be like 3 or 4 power cycles, but it's really helpful on, say, a bulb that you can't solder or anything, and you boot loop it or whatever. And if you can get a lot of times the power cycle will work. There's some cases it won't. But if you don't want that on, I had an issue where I was outside and I heard the tree fall, and I could see across the neighborhood, way in the back of the neighborhood, where the power comes into the neighborhood and goes underground, it was just constantly arcing. And so inside, you could see everybody's lights in the entire neighborhood. Boom, boom, boom. It was flickering, and it did it like 10 times. And then finally, it cut off. Well, if I wouldn't have had that, I would have had all 70-something devices would have been factory defaulted. And it really sucks when you pull up your phone and you've got like 30 or 40 or 60 Tasmota dash number, whatever, access points, and you don't know what is what. So, yeah, so once I put it in production and I'm not messing with it, I actually have a automation that I call my Tasmota SO push. I know it's in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Yeah, whole house UP. I bet that would be expensive. I've seen businesses with it, like TV stations, and they were monsters. Yeah. So what I do, I have a set option, and I push it to my entire, all my devices. And 57, if you're curious, I have 2 access points. Every 44 minutes, I think it is, it will scan and look for a better access point. And 59, that's just the one that does the light state. But 65, I turn that, you set it to 1, and that disables that feature. But if you need that feature, you disabled it. So I do recommend, if you're doing a bunch of upgrades or you're messing with the device, the configuration, the rules, the template, or whatever, make sure SetOptions 65 is set to 0. So, yeah. All right, Aaron, take it easy. Yeah, definitely cool hanging out till 4. Yeah, that's definitely won't be doing that. It's 10 o'clock for me already, but what else did we have? Last thing before I get off on I hate to just, I'm not trying to make y'all buy. I almost dropped it, but I can confirm that if you're looking for some bulbs and I know it's US people. I can't say for other countries. No one's told me if they have them or whatever. But I just got these in myself. They were on sale. See, I just got them November 27th. And I don't know if it's going to show the coupon for me. It is. They were like, they had like an $8 coupon on Monday or something. So you do your math, but they were still Tuya convert capable. So, and I took them out the box. I Tuya converted all 4, no issue. And there's some great bulbs. I did some comparisons with them. They are 5-channel PWM, so they're red, green, blue, cool white, and warm white. They're compared to some other bulbs, they're pretty good. The only thing I will say that sucks on them is the way they design the ESP chip inside. It's too close to the ground plane, and the Wi-Fi signal, it kind of sucks on it. It's not too bad, but it's less than other devices that are in the same room. So yeah, they're still Tuya convertible. As you can see, I bought them on the 27th, and I converted them yesterday, and they work fine. So, so I don't know when those will be blocked, and that's like the last bulbs that I know. If anybody knows of any other great bulbs that is easy to do through serial or whatever, hey, let us know. Yeah, I wish there was a video that compared brightness and color. Yep, I still razz myself on that one as well. That one was, let's see, where's the bulb? We were talking about it actually yesterday, and I told you, y'all just got to look for the comparison. You got to watch the whole damn thing. I know it probably screws up the whole thing of YouTube, but I'm not a numbers guy really much with that. Let's see. It's just looking at, yeah, that would be cool to see someone's gonna make a bulb eventually. I hope that someone's gonna make a bulb that you just pop the diffuser off, and there's just like 5 little holes for you to just take your USB flasher and go chunk, stick it down, and you're done. And they can put them on there by accident. That way they're just there. And you still can use them in the cloud, and that it still fits soccer mom Sally, that she can pull them up on her iPhone and pull up in the Tuya app. But then for us, it's great. So yeah, we were talking about this bulb right here. This was the AO Coker, and you can see it did not fare too well. I think this one was the Mercury bulbs that Walmart would sell. Did I put a link for the bulbs? I think I did, didn't I? This Shelly does have some bulbs, but they don't have a great color bulb from what I found. Um, yeah, and yeah, and they are. Of course, those are the affiliate links, and you don't have to use them. You can go just Google the stuff on the video if you want. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. Um, but yeah, the Shelly does have some bulbs. I don't think they you can convert those. I just don't think that the color was too great. So, but yeah, those are the AO Coker. The number 8 was the 4-channel Lohas. And so I'm looking for the other, because I'm not going to run the whole video. And then right after that video, they came out with the 5-channel Lohas. And the problem is, here, I got a picture of it. This is how the bulb looks. And if you look, which is just my little rude and crude, this actually is the top of the can, the RF shield on the ESP, I think it's a 2L. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. It's just printed on top, and I've seen them before. But then I think it's near this other layer of PCB, and I think that's what kills. This must be a ground plane, because I don't know if it connects with this ground here, but it does. It just kill the Wi-Fi signal is not as great. I did talk about it in my Lohas new comparison. I did a comparison of like the Wi-Fi signal too, because I felt there was to talk about it. But where's the? I knew I had a picture of it. Not the picture, but the little montage of it. So they're pretty close in color, even on the red. I think the reds, they're pretty close on it. And I did like a spreadsheet and the whole 9 yards. So outdoor, yeah. There used to be one that was doable, but I know a lot of the LED controllers have been switching to non-ESP chips. And I know it's not the sky is falling. I really think on those, they're switching to them because those other chips are doing hardware PWM and not software PWM that the ESP8266 does. There was a new, I think we talked about that which brings up there was a new ESP chip. If somebody can find it while I'm looking for it, there was a new ESP32 chip that was pinout compatible as the ESP8266. I think we should start seeing those. I'm hoping next year. What is this? William's posting something. Lee LED strips. Yeah, I don't need to go do a whole link to that. So those are easily. It looks like that one does have the RF as well. Are those RGB or RGBWs? It looks like just RGBs. Now those not going to be now. Those aren't going to be what you may be looking for on they're analog, meaning that the whole strip is going to be red, the whole strip is going to be blue. It's not going to get individual addressables. If you want to do that, you're probably looking more doing some stuff that like Dr. Z's did, or Quindor, or even just straight ESP chips like I did with which I do want to talk about the 12 volt lights versus 5 volt. I had a friend buy a bunch of 5 volt pixels off of Amazon, those are definitely not tolerant for doing without a level shifter. Anytime we got more than like this long of a wire, they would just freak out. It's crazy that I can run a wire like 20, 30 feet with no level shifter off of ESP chip on 12 volt and it works fine. Yeah, that was crazy. Who posted a link in the Discord? In general, where did you post it? There were some of those bulbs in the warehouse for 31. Oh, just ordered that. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So we got off on, we finished, I don't know what other subjects we were really getting on. That was the last one I was really wanting to mess with. So any other questions, I guess, what we'll have, whoever's got whatever while we're here. Yeah, I haven't done any of the DMX stuff. I can do 15 foot of 5 volt using no problems. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was with those five. There was the same 5 volt pixels. It was just there were 5 volt pixels, and you could not get them. What other set options are important? That's a good one. A very good one. SO32, absolutely. And that one is, let's jump down to the list. Set option 32, and if I need to make the text bigger, which I just did and I jumped myself, that's going to be the hold time on for long press of switches and buttons. And that defaults to 4 seconds, and that sucks. Run from the controlling data pin to a pixel 1 is too long, then you can have control issues. Yeah, we had the control issues big time on the 5 volts. We actually put them side by side, and they look identical. Just, the strand pixels, but one of them is 5 volt, one of them is 12 volt. And we would get more than 5-6 inches in the 5 volt, and we're running 5 volt, same ESP chip. I would switch it over to the power supply with 12 volts, with no level shifter, no capacitor, no nothing, just pop it in and go. Straight off the GPIO pin, I could run like 20, 30 feet of data line and it still would not mess up. So, disable Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So yeah, those 5 volts were definitely not, tolerant. Is that what you're talking about? Who posted that? Is that it? Yes, and you can do that sacrificial first pixel. You can do that. So, shatterproof filament bulb. Okay, a little pricey. With 4 broken bulbs, literally cracked in half. Okay, so what were you asking about those, Dale? I know it looks like those are just going to be. Those are all going to be 120 though, right? Yeah. Probably even 240. I know a lot of stuff will be 120/240 is why I say that. I wouldn't recommend it if it's not, but do check the specs. So 96 feet. Okay. Now you wouldn't be able to, I don't think those are dimmable. I would want to make sure they're dimmable. They stated this, if they're not, go back. Yeah, I don't want to spend too. Oh, they have an RGB. Yeah, I've seen some RGB ones, but I haven't seen those like in a addressable type deal. So Yeah, I've seen there was like someone posted a link a while back of some Tuya ones. I don't know if they were ESP, but it was they were probably, I think, like 40 feet long. I know if I Google for it, not Google for it, it's gonna come out crazy. RGB smart lights, maybe. I know it was like a whole strand. Yeah, it was these right here. I was half tempted to buy those to just see if those were ESP based in this little module right here, and of how they were doing those. Half tempted to buy them. Energy monitoring ADS 1115. Wow. Yeah. I haven't. I know I said I would. I haven't gone back and done that one. Addressable cafe. I know you can't. I remember there was a bug in ESP Home, but I think they fixed it. I think someone did it in the comments, and they were running 2 of the clamps off of it. I don't know what. I have to go back and search and see. So, I could probably build one. We could do something live basically with it, just because it's kind of a niche type thing. So, so back to set options. I don't want to get off on that one. This is another set option 1 is it disables the multi-press, and it disables that 40-second hold time. Another one, you may think, what the hell this one for? If you have something turning on and off a lot, and you don't care about saving the state of that relay, meaning that, hey, when the power goes off, do I want that light to come back in the same state it was based on the power on state? Typically, the default is if your light switch turns on, it saves to the flash and says, hey, I'm on. Well, then you turn it off. Well, now it saves to the flash, I'm off. Well, it's a bunch of writing back and forth to the flash you really don't need. Now, I know there's some wear leveling in there with the Tasmota stuff with where the flash is. But if you really just don't need to save the state of it, you can turn off the set option 0, and it will not write to the flash every time you turn the light off and on. And if you have some like a really important one is back in the day when you used to do the fake relay for like PIR sensors. And now I can see some people doing them again with fake relays because it's easy to bring it in with the integrations and auto discovery. Is you would definitely, with a motion sensor, want to turn set option 0 because you don't want to save the state of that motion sensor every single time it flips. I know a lot of ESP Home people would love to do this one, but it's a joke there. But I'll turn on MQTT in my ESP Home. 13 is another important one. Is if you go back, if I did the video on the ESP Home versus Tasmota, because everybody always said, oh, ESP Home's faster. It turns on my lights so much faster. It's because of the API. It's not. The default thing for Tasmota is when you push the light switch button, it has to wait to look to see, oh, hey, is he going to press it again, or is he going to hold it, or whatever? And if you don't get that instant, immediate response. So, but if you want to, on you having your buttons, do set option 13. It makes the light switch faster. Not sure. It's charging essentials. Dimmers. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the dimmers before. Didn't they sell them as the, I forgot what the other brand was for that, but what was the other set option? Set option 19, auto discovery. If you haven't tried it, I know we talked about the integration earlier. Everything I do right now, and I'm not hating on FL, I use auto discovery on my new stuff. I'm not going back and setting my old stuff yet. Side note, I know some people do it. If you have a production and development pointing at the same MQTT server, do not go and delete your MQTT integration on your development. It will remove all your topics for production, for auto discovery, but it's easy to put them back. Yeah, don't ask me to pronounce that. Fate or whatever, I think is what it was. I just did it anyway. So that set option 19 is good. Some do the circadian lighting. They do set option 20 because they want to send the color and the dimmer values to all of their lights without turning them on. Set option 20 is a good one with that. I like to use set option 21. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good stuff coming in 119, which you can also remove. From what I hear, you can remove devices you don't want in there too. What else have I used? Set option 30, another good one. It'll enforce the this switch to be as a light. We talked about 32. I haven't done 36. I've always left this at default. And this one was the number of times it'll just keep crashing before it resets to defaults. I've always left that at default. Oh, look, FL's still in there. Okay, so you're using the integration, Patrick. Good. Okay. What else have I used? I'm not trying to cover everything. Some people have had to use this set option 41 based on their router with the disable ARP. We don't use 43. This is for 8285s. This one's, I see some people using this one. It displays the host name and IP right in the GUI itself. Look, my other one dropped off. SO531. I wonder if I need to change the timing on that. This one's it sets the IP addresses and stuff at the top. Some people like that. Yes, the iFan. I remember FL telling me that. I used to use 56, but I had an issue and I turned it off and it went away. Sometimes I reboot a device, it wouldn't connect and it would go into AP mode. And so I turned off 56 and I just let 57 do it. And what I use 57 is for, and hopefully not everybody's bored by this and maybe watching it, you can just fast forward. Is 57, I have 2 access points for Unify and most of my devices can pick up both. But of course the signal sucks on some of them. I'll just upgrade the firmware on one and I may upgrade the firmware and let it run for a day, a couple hours or something like that, just to see how it runs. And I used to have to go in and start resetting devices. I know like ESP Home, I had these light bulbs that would want to hang on to like a 9 or 5% signal. And I would have to restart them to get them to pick up. It's awesome with Tasmota. You just have that 57 on. And later on, they'll just scan and they'll switch to the other access point. It's awesome. 59, that should set when auto discovery. And what that's going to do is anytime I see it all the time, people are like, hey, I turned my light switch on or my dimmer or my bulbs, but I turn them and they turn off and turn back on real quick. I turn them on, they turn off real quick because the telemetry is not posting. Yeah, I do have 119 on my dev. I don't think, I looked for it. It was like earlier today, it wasn't pushed since yesterday. I haven't used set retain, relay feedback. There's another, there's one that it breaks up PW, pulse width modulation into separate channels. It's separate sliders. Yeah, you like top it backwards? Yeah, I set 59 on all of my stuff now. We talked about 65. Um, 66 would probably be useful for that top greener. 68, here I'm coming up to it. 66 might be useful instead of doing rules for the, I didn't know that one was in there, for the Tuya receive. Anytime it gets a Tuya receive packet, it pushes it on MQTT, which then you could act on it with Node-RED or whatever. 68 is pretty cool because you can you'll get 5 sliders. Let's say a 5 PWM light. Don't be careful with that unless you want a science project. Bulbs are not designed to blast out all 5 channels at full brightness. The power supply just is not going to handle it. So don't do it. 73 is another awesome one where I did cover a video on that. That's where it decouples the buttons and you can act on it with automations and stuff. The dimmer ramp rate. No, I haven't messed with that. The dimmer ramp, I just use whatever's, most of the hardware dimmers have a ramp rate built into them, like a less than a second, and that's kind of what I did use. ESP Home people like this one. If you ever take a Tasmota device and try to push an ESP Home bin, you will need to turn on to disable it the SetOptions 78. Otherwise, you won't be able to push the bin for ESP Home. And I do recommend always to everybody is mock up. If you're switching from Tasmota to ESP Home or vice versa, of course, never use minimal, but always take a Node MCU of some sort, a Wemos D1 Mini or whatever, mock up your stuff, your same devices, and try out the conversion from ESP Home to Tasmota or vice versa first. I don't have any blinds or shutters. I haven't dug into a lot of this. This is the Zigbee device friendly name. I did that. I do have it on a little spare Zigbee Tasmota bridge. I don't have this as ZHA. I was doing it as MQTT. PWM dimmer. That's the Martin Jerry dimmer. And I know someone was asking about that before. I know I've had that. I have one way over there. Someone's asking why I like that Martin Jerry dimmer so much. And I know you're probably like, oh, I see the Martin Jerry dimmer. Look, let's see if it comes up. MJ. Look at that. MJ dimmer. Look at that. I talked about the TuyaMCU. There's three, well, there's technically 4 buttons. The button at the bottom is just the reset line. There's 3 buttons on it. And if there's no TuyaMCU on it, you don't have to deal with those Tuya packets and trying to map stuff and everything. It's just an awesome little switch, and you can do what you want with it. You can, look at my iFan 03 video. I used the damn switch and the LEDs to determine the fan speed. But you just look at the wall. Hey, is the bottom one on? It's speed 1, 2, or 3. And then long presses turned on my downlights. So it's a very versatile dimmer, and you can do multi-press. You can do long press. You can get 6 actions per button. And so you could have 18 actions right there in your dimmer, and you don't even have to use it as a dimmer. So it's just there's nothing else like it that I know on the market. Where's my Tasmota set options? Damn it, I closed it. Is that a sign? I know we were getting towards the end, but if you're ever bored and need some bathroom reading material, go read the command section. It's impressive how many commands they fit in that little 500, 600K binary. And people ask, like, hey, why can't we fit all the commands? Like, is a help inside the, it wouldn't fit. See, I haven't messed with these. Control, though, the compressed rules, that's kind of neat when you've run out of space and rules. Now, this one I have messed with. FL did this one for me because we saw that with the, the fan controller. And there are several other ones. I know there was a Martin Jerry 3-way dimmer, which converted from RTL to ESP, which seems backwards, but kudos to Martin Jerry for doing that. Remember we talked about TuyaMCU is the baud rate is 9600. Well, a lot of the newer ones are using 115K, and you'll see in the setup. This is really cool. I like this. All-in-one. It's fan controller and dimmer. A true fan controller. It has 4 speeds and it works pretty well. You'll see I use it right here. Set option 97 in the setup. So that's I've used that one before. Zero cross. That was somebody asking. I just don't have any zero cross capable dimmers. Some Zigbee stuff. There's your TLS, and some people use that with their encrypted white blend mode. I have not used that yet. So, what else? That's about it. Look, they need to put 115. We used 115 on the BLE. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different. Some of the other set options are really going to be for device specific. So. Yeah. So very cool stuff in the set options. So other stuff was like your Wi-Fi config, your group topics are good stuff. And the all-time favorite, which I know I had a request for do it, and I do want to do it with that fan dimmer, is the device groups. So redo on the device groups. Yeah, the device groups, you haven't messed with that. That's awesome. I did video on it way back, and it syncs stuff up through UDP without MQTT. It's like for using light switches in a 3-way configuration, or using dimmers to control smart bulbs. It's just really cool what you can do with the device groups. So. What else? That's about it. All I had. We've been running for. I know I've been talking a whole lot, so I'll let y'all get in a few questions before I have to jet. Yeah, I just want to hit some likes, some dislikes, some comments, or whatever. There's stuff afterwards. If I don't know everything in Tasmota, it's crazy, and still today. I'm learning more and more about Tasmota. Like I said, at Tasmota, still what, 2.5, 3 years. So it's crazy that you're still packing so much into that software. So, and it's not to say, I know everybody's like, well, you're always on the beating the drum of Tasmota. I still use ESP Home for different projects. I like them both. I just use whatever's easiest for the project at the time to get integrated. So, yes, if you don't catch this, I think after YouTube does its mashing and stuff on the stream, I know if I go over 2 hours, which I have here, it takes a little longer, but it will eventually get posted. So, yeah, one last thing, if I say it all, is for the upgrading is the OTA server has changed. We get that comment. I get that all the time. Let's see if Nightbot can post the command, is the URLs changed. So they're from the hack box. Remember they were hack box such and such. You need to change to the ones here, or you can go find them in the Tasmota docs. I guess it's that way. And if you're on 8.2 or better, use the GZ ones. That's gzip, because it sometimes will remove that middle step. So, and you're gonna get better off. I know there's that CRC on gzips, and so use the gzip. So it's smaller, and it's like this black magic that Theo did to do the firmware update, which is weird, but so. A firmware that have on home to migrate doesn't deserve a wait. What do you mean, Federico? A firmware that you have on my how to migrate from doesn't deserve my respect. What do you mean by that? Maybe I'm misunderstanding that one. So, and I know Stone smoked one of his precious BN links. They do have a migration path upgrade flow, but if you really don't need to fix it, if you want to get into the integration stuff that's coming to be better in 119, the ESP homepage, you're going to need to get to the newer version, but you could end up bricking it. And I covered some of the upgrade stuff I did. So, are you using X lights for your home? No, I'm not. Have not dug into X lights yet. I actually got frustrated with what's the name of it? WLED in the sync procedure, and I ended up rewriting it in Node-RED because my stuff kept getting out of sync. Where was it at? I want to say I did it in one of these. No, maybe I moved it. It looks so weird blown up. And yeah, I could have written it differently but I wanted to kind of set different, let's see if I can zoom out. But I wanted MQTT. I like to use MQTT and I don't need them in Home Assistant. I don't mess with them. So I basically now used to have the sequence go on 1 and then sync to 2 or 3, but they would sometimes they would sometimes sync and sometimes would. And I even tried putting them on their own SSID and their own VLAN. It works like 80% of the time. The other 20% really pisses you off, especially if you're OCD. So I do all my sequences in, and I need to add my other ones in here. Is I just push the whole sequence and stuff straight to copy and pasted it out of WLED, and so then I just push MQTT to all 3 at the same time. So, and they stay perfectly in sync now. I turned off sync and just did MQTT with them. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll have time. I'm helping someone else put up a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I tried to do one. I do like the new feature of how they did the segments and the favorites on those, but yeah. So I haven't dug into. I've been helping another neighbor and another friend with some of their lights. I don't know if I'll get time to dig into X lights this year. Maybe I'll dig into it in a couple months. So, but that's about it. So other than that, we've been running pretty long. I do appreciate everybody hanging out, and all the super chats and support, and using whatever links you want to, or even just sharing videos wherever, or liking or disliking. Hey, it all helps out, and do whatever. I do appreciate it. So, oh look, another Node-RED WLED. Yeah, I want to change my time, but between the different that's what I wanted really. I want one to run for like 3 or 4 seconds, then one to run for like 15 seconds, then another one run 2 seconds. That's what I wanted to do. So if I don't get any other crazy questions, shoot me one on Discord, and I will try to, if you shoot me an email too, let me know. I mean, I'll try to answer them. I do have a day job too, so. But a lot of content, and glad everything went well. And what about the other 100,000 of us? And maybe go play with some, well, if I would do some additional BLE understanding, maybe we'll do a little thing of it. Look at Zappy. You gotta roll it back and go see all the craziness stuff we did with the BLE. So it'll be up. I'm sure YouTube will put it up later. It's not my doing. So, all right, everybody, have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it might be. And I do appreciate and thank you, Frederico, for being here, and everybody else, and Jim and Sir Goodenough and the whole list. And I won't hit the end button right away because y'all say it cuts y'all off. So I'll just sit here and be quiet and be still. And hit the button. Let the stream run out, the buffer. How big is the buffer? I gotta see myself. I feel silly. Gee, I'm still talking. I talk a lot. All right, there goes.